Hi there, I'm Beth Ruske, and joining me today is my esteemed colleague and business partner and friend, Andrea Henning.
Yes.
We are,
Hello.
yeah, we're partners in Tiara International, and every week we bring you what we call Tiara Talks. And this is just a conversation that we were having that we thought you might be interested in as well. And today's conversation is about, some people refer to it as both and. Andrea, I think you refer to it as dealing with opposites,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And we're going to talk about what that means. Like, how do we hold opposite, maybe even polar opposite thoughts, beliefs, actions at the same time? How do we deal with both wanting it this way and dealing with reality of this way? So that's our topic today. Hope you'll enjoy it because we always do. So thank you. So Andre, let's start with when you think about opposites. I mean, there's so many different ways that people can like recognize where opposites are in their lives. I mean, politics is a big one. I mean, there's a lot of, I think the phrase you used was mudslinging. A lot of mudslinging causing people to really feel opposite. But what are some other places that we feel opposite?
I think the issue of dealing with opposites and finding a way through it, moving through it, has come pretty close. Like just for now in the Netherlands, it's the same as in the States. The vaccines are coming up, but there are a lot of opposites, regions, different messages. So what to believe? It's really pushing the insecurity button, because we have to make a choice. Are you getting vaccinated? Aren't you not? Would you even vouch against a certain vaccine that you are that comes with your age group or not? It comes really, really close. And when it comes to opposites, I refer to the opposite messages. Like it's as if there is, I just think about Monty Python, follow the shoe, follow the calabash here. Like every opinion wants their followers and makes cases, and they are maybe both perfectly valid or logical, but they are both stories. And especially if none of them appeals to yourself, how then to make a choice that that you can have peace with in the moment. Yeah. And making choices from one moment to the other.
Yeah, I think one of the most foundational things, to share here is this word choice, because you're always at choice. Even when you feel like you don't have choice, you really do have choice. You have a choice of how you respond, how you react, if you get triggered, if you're going to take the bait, if you're going to respond in a positive way, if you're going to just think about it. But the other thing is you'd have to choose. And the choice is what we're talking about, is the choice is up to you. And some people think not choosing is a possibility, but that's a choice. People don't get that that's a choice. So, and I like what you had said when we were talking earlier about when you make a choice, you have to be willing to be compassionate, with yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you make a choice from integrity, a choice that feels like the right choice for you in the moment, and you have no idea, maybe a month from now or a year from now, with new data, you think, oh, if I would have had the data, I would have made a different choice. And that's always easy in hindsight, but then still being very compassionate with yourself, knowing, no, that came out of integrity. This data weren't there then. And then can I still live with that choice then? And I hope then that the answer is yes. And that advocates for when you're making a choice to really feel if the choice feels like the right one, even if you do not know for later.
Yeah, I think I like that word, being in integrity with your choice. And I like what you say in terms of really giving yourself permission to say, I'm making the best choice I can, or I made the best choice I could. I think there's also the piece that we're talking about inside of that is, and you have to be willing or open to actually let the new information in. So that maybe, as you're pointing out, maybe there's new information today, and that might change your choice. It might not. And we're using the word choice here instead of the word decision. It's our preference. We feel there's way more power in choosing, in choosing, as opposed to just kind of deciding, yes or no. But so it's not semantics. We're purposely using the word. But when we talk about making the best choice you can in the moment, really trusting yourself in that. And if I did trust that I made the best choice in the moment, and now there's new information, all that means is I get to make another good choice in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It might sometimes only be a saying like there are no good or bad choices. There are only choices and consequences, which is a little bit of a brain breaker. But if you really live from that place, knowing that you always can make a new choice in the moment, then actually you can move through uncertainty. Otherwise, it can cripple you and paralyze you. If we would wait until all the new data would be there, for instance, to getting vaccinated, like what do you do? What are we? What as a collective are we doing? It's just not possible.
In the work we do with professional women, it's one of the things we hear from senior leaders in companies all the time when they're talking about their emerging female leaders. In particular, we hear that they're not willing to make a choice. They're not willing to make a decision. They sit back and wait until they get all this information in. And I can't tell you, the number of times we've had executives say to us, but they don't understand that's what being a leader is to being able to make a choice without all the information that still is a good choice, still the best choice in the moment. Stand with it, make it happen, adjust as you go. So you bring up this feeling of uncertainty, where, really being able to be in the space with, things are not rock solid. Everything's changing in every moment, and being okay with that. That's a skill that we really like to see more and more leaders, more women in particularly, to take on and be okay with, because you can wait forever and still not have every piece of information that you think you need, but you can still make a good choice along the way.
Exactly. And that is indeed a skill, as you say. And it's a skill where you kind of tune in with your own power and trust that. Of course, you do all the preparation, you get as much information as you can, you prepare, but you don't over prepare to be in control. You prepare, then you let go, and that you are prepared to take the choice in the moment. You trust yourself basically with the choice in the moment.
Yeah. I also think it really requires that you get some skill at being comfortable with the discomfort.
Yes.
And just really recognizing that we like to say, like, sometimes your comfort zone is only this big, right? You want to stretch your comfort zone. You don't want to actually jump into a panic zone. But the more and more you can stretch your comfort zone, the more comfortable you will be with some of this ambiguity and uncertainty, and the discomfort that comes along with it. It is a practice. That's a skill that comes with practice.
It is definitely a practice. And what it also, a spin-off of that is also that you can stay engaged, because a lot of people that I hear saying right now with all the mud throwing in politics, for instance, I just don't listen to the news anymore. I just don't switch on the television, which as you, to your point, is a choice. But then you kind of quit engagement. And when you no longer are in connection, then it really gets dangerous there. And as much as I understand our tendency that enough is enough and we just quit, we can also find a different way of staying engaged without inundated by practicing this muscle that you were talking about.
Yeah. So, when we talk about, both and, I mean, there are simple things, I can, have that cookie and still be on a diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a both and. There are harder ones, like I can have a good life and still have a cancer diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I can, provide for my family and not have job security.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, there's a big continuum of how big the consequences are, in these both and conversations. I can love somebody and have different political opinions from them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a both and.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to really contain that and be curious and open-hearted, and I like the words we use, forgiving and expansive. This is really what we're talking about, to be able to not only hear opposites, but to listen to them and engage with them. And who knows, you might end up with a better solution in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful.
At least you have grown then as a person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and check back again for another Tiara Talks, and have a great week, however long between us.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you.
Okay, thank you.